It's like you don't appreciate sanity if you don't have insanity.
If you don't have insanity, you don't appreciate sanity. Yeah. I definitely feel that. Even when like you're like, if I'm in a routine of like being healthy, working out, eating good, doing all the things that I know make me feel good, if I go too long of a stretch with it, like 2-3 weeks straight, no cheat day, no fucking up, I'm waking up every morning doing the sit-ups, eating fruits and veggies, fucking sucking dicks for protein, whatever it might be. When I go too long with it, it becomes so normal that you forget that it even really feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta fuck it up and bring it down just to get back up and be like, oh yeah, I remember why I do this because it feels good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
Now that we got high, it's there's no telling what could come out of my mouth.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. You's a liar, I can smell it on you. Got the voice down packed, but your eyes are telling on you. Shame on you for stretching your mouth around shit that your heart knows you
ready?
don't do.
Yeah.
We're fucking live, my boy. Welcome back. Party with Strategy podcast, episode 36. My motherfucking man, Hans Kim, in the building. What's good, baby?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming through. You're in town for Skank Fest, huh?
Yeah, skanking it up.
How was it? How is it?
It's so much fun.
Yeah?
Everyone's so chill. Everyone's there to have a good time.
Yeah, I wish I knew it was here.
You didn't know?
Yeah, what do? They do different cities. How many cities do they do? Do you know?
I think that they just did New York for the most part, and then they did Houston. They were gonna do it in 2020, but they had to cancel. So this is like the first one outside of New York.
Okay, because that's what I saw. Their Instagram is Skankfest New York. I figured it was always there. Now they're trying different locations.
Yeah, this was the first one outside
Tight.
New York, and it's a good place because I don't know why they chose Houston, but Texas is awesome. I mean, Houston is pretty dope too.
Are you from
very
Austin?
dope. No, I'm from I lived in New York before this, and then Seattle is where I spent my childhood.
Okay, tight. How long were you in New York?
3 years.
What was going on out there?
The best comedy in the world with some of the grumpiest people in the world.
Is it? I have so many questions about like the comedy industry because I'm so curious. I'm so into podcasting and comedy and all that because every time they talk about doing comedy, it's so relatable to me back to DJing, you know, with like you're doing something in front of a crowd, you're dealing with managers, you're dealing with people, like everything they talk about with comedy is so relatable to me back to DJing. So I have so many questions, you know?
Yeah.
First of all, why is your name DJ Hans Kim? I feel
Instagram.
like that needs to be the first question.
And Twitter.
Yeah.
The reason is because I was posting on Imgur.
What's that?
It's like a place where you can post photos to eventually post to Reddit. So I uploaded this tweet that I thought was super witty to Imgur so that I could post it on Reddit, and I posted on Reddit. It didn't get much traction, and then I look on Imgur and people are talking shit about it.
What was the post?
Like something about cops and how they should treat black people better or something.
Standard. Okay. All right.
And I didn't even know that it was a community. I just thought it was an app to post to Reddit. I didn't know that I'd be comment. So I was like, I don't give a fuck about these people. Fuck you guys. So I just started posting more shit that they didn't like. And then they were like, my handle was Hans Kim Comedy. And they're like, your handle's Hans Kim Comedy, but this isn't comedy. I was like, okay, I'll just change my name. I'll be a DJ now so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's what we get to do.
Yeah.
As DJ. I feel like that's the opposite. As comedians, you get to say whatever the fuck you want. As DJs, we don't really get to say shit.
Right. Now they can just evaluate my ideas for the ideas and not based on how funny it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. You're trying to throw them off a little bit.
Yeah.
I see you, a little Kansas City shuffle. Cheers, by the way. We got a
Cheers.
couple hard kombuchas. Do you want to hit this joint ski a little bit? Maybe one or two
please.
puffs.
I would love to.
Should grab a lighter.
Hold on a
Hold on,
second.
let me grab a lighter real quick.
Keep my throat wet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Oh, you know what? Actually, I got to pay you, and I decided I have to pay you on camera because I can't get hoed out by Tony Hinchcliffe like that. I don't know if you saw the Kill Tony, the most recent one. Do you go back and watch them?
Sometimes. I should more, but
I got picked out of the bucket. I was there last. I saw you at the end of the night. You were a little shafast. I don't know if you remember or not. I saw you at the end of the night. But I told Tony on stage, I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to have Hans Kim on the podcast. I was going to give him a couple bucks. He was like, well, how much are you going to pay him? I was like, I was going to give him like $200. He was like, give him 4. Give him 4. We need to shit on Pang Dang. Make sure that he knows that Hans is out here getting paid. So I was like, all right, I can't get hoed out. Tony said you get 4. You get
Thank you
$400.
so
There
much.
it is.
This is
So,
very generous.
yeah, and when I went back to watch it, that's what made me ask if you rewatch them. I wanted to fucking kill myself watching myself up there. But obviously that was the first time I've ever
I
done it,
used
and
to
it was
watch
terrible.
it. I used to watch it, and then I got on it, and then I'm like, I can't watch
You
it
can't go
anymore.
back and watch, right?
It hurts
It's
too much.
fucking yeah, but you're good. Like
Thank you.
you're actually good at what you do. I'm up there doing something I don't do. It was so hard to watch, bro, because I kind of blacked out up there a little bit. When I was up there, I was so nervous, and it all just happened, and I don't really remember what happened. And then going back and watching, I'm like, oh, so bad.
I mean, isn't it better because you don't do it? Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter, but it still hurts. It still hurts. Knowing
Yeah.
that other people are seeing it and like that's me, I'm like, oh God, that's so bad.
That's
You
what
know?
people think about, you know. But it's like, I guess it's like a part of you that you didn't want to reveal. And I mean, I'm not very good at the interview part that I want to get better at, and also the writing jokes part. I also want to get better at.
I mean, you're up there fucking crushing it, bro. You so before the Kill Tony thing, where were you at in your career?
I was just moved out of New York. The pandemic had hit, and I was at Los Angeles hitting the mics. Thank you. Just, you know, doing the mics and just practicing and getting on shows every now and then and just doing mics. Man, I love mics.
And you went to Austin?
Yeah.
You might have to,
During the pandemic, I was in Seattle for the most part, and then for 2 months I was in LA, and then in November I saw the numbers start going up. So I was like going to the desert, and I was living in the desert.
out of your car. You actually live out of your car.
Yeah, out of my van.
Van.
I was watching movies and shit
Fucking
in the
legend.
desert.
I wanted you to. I didn't get to see your van when you pulled up. It was the clearance wouldn't. Your crib couldn't get through the clearance down there. But I wanted to get. I wanted to peep it. I wanted to, because a lot of times when you watch shit on the internet, I don't know if it's really real. Because I do shit on the internet too, and that like a lot of shit is fake. A lot of things are played up and shit. So it's always funny for me to meet somebody in real life and then find out like, no, yeah, you actually do live out of your van, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of the Instagram thoughts, they do van life, but it's not. They don't live out of it. They vacation for a week and then they go back home.
Yeah. Do you like Instagram thoughts, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, I love all thoughts.
What's your kind of like? What's your most appealing woman?
Like a soccer chick, someone who's fit with a ponytail and like really slim and like very athletic and
Slim ponytail, soccer player.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Like
see
brown.
you. Brunette, you think?
Yeah, brunette.
Brunette, like-
I'm not into blondes.
No blondes.
But I love blondes. I'm just like my ideal. I'm talking about my ideal is
Ideal. And we're talking about like if you're thinking of marrying a woman, right? Like obviously you'll fuck a blonde. That's what a lot of people I feel like get confused is, you know, you'll be talking about a chick maybe like in Houston there's a lot of fake asses. Have you seen a lot of fake asses since you've been out here?
No.
Like an unbelievable amount of just the most ridiculously fake asses. It's not even a question. Like, you know, it's a good fake ass if you have to think about it. You're like, maybe it could be. But out here, it's just like 2 basketballs stuffed into a pair of jeans with some fucking broomsticks coming out of the bottom. And you're like, what? What is? That's not even relative to something real. It's crazy. But, you know, I'll talk a lot of shit. I'll be like, that's crazy. That's insane. And people are like, you wouldn't fuck her? I was like, listen, I didn't say I wouldn't smash. I'm just saying, like, that's not my shit, but I'll still smash. Like, there's a big difference between would you smash or, like, what are you looking for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I would smash a 5 and up, but I wouldn't marry a 5 and up.
What are you marrying? A
7
3?
and up?
I'm trying to marry a 3.
Why? So you have mental advantage?
Yeah, I mean, someone once said if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, you got to make an ugly woman your wife. I forgot who said that.
That way they don't leave you?
I mean, you know that there's like a hotness to craziness scale. Like the hotter they are, the crazier they are.
Yeah.
So personally, I like if I'm looking to wife a chick, I want a chick who's almost hot. You know what I'm saying? Like a chick who you have to really see the beauty. You have to really look at her and focus to see the beauty.
I think a lot of guys are like that. They don't look for the hottest girl. They look for the girl that looks the weirdest, but only they think is hot.
Yes. I fuck with that.
It's like
That's
a
my
lock.
shit.
It's like a key that only you have.
If I have to like explain to you why she's hot, I fuck with that. You know what I mean? Like if you just see the beauty off the bat, no go for me.
Wow. But isn't that embarrassing if you go to a party and you're like, let me explain?
You're all drunk and shit. Everyone's like, what are you doing with this broad? And you're like, listen, I got to tell you how she eats my ass. It's about the little things, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that familiar with relationships. I've lived a life where I've not really had many long-term relationships.
What's the longest one you've had?
6 months.
6 months is, I mean, 3 months is the honeymoon phase, right? So like you only had a real 3 months of actual agony and the pain of a relationship.
Yeah.
How old are you?
32.
You're 32. I'm about to be 32.
Nice.
You look young, bro. That shit they say about Asian people is true.
Yeah.
You look mad young.
I got thick skin.
You got
I'm
got
a late
thick
bloomer.
skin and I'm thick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why it says sit-ups over there.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. This morning I didn't do them. That's for the morning.
A lot of sit-ups.
Just a quick 100 in the morning. It's like it gets me going a little bit. It gets the brain going, accomplishing something in the morning. Then you look back to it and you're like, yeah, I did that, so I could do this. There's a whole thing. Yeah. But I didn't even do them.
So then is it even worse the day?
Yeah, that's the fucked up thing is when you find something that adds to your life, like, oh, this morning routine where I do sit-ups, it's so great. I make my bed, it's great, and then I could go on and have a productive day. When you don't do those things, it just makes your day shit. It's just like once you get into the habit of doing it, you have to fucking do it because when you don't, it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah. So if you have no expectations, on average, you live the same kind of life because you don't go through the highs and lows.
100%. I feel like that's like I envy people like I would even say like yourself who live in a van. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And my boy Travis who's like a nomad and like doesn't look at his phone and you never really know where he's gonna be and he might be MIA for weeks at a time. I aspire to live like that. I wish I could. I want to give no fucks whatsoever.
But you don't because you love stability or structure?
I am big on stability and structure. Yeah, I'm Jewish. So, like, I feel like my Jewish parents hammered it into me as I was little. Like, you got to save and you got to do this and do that.
Fear, like
fear.
the Nazis are coming.
Yes, the Nazis are coming. They got your
Okay,
grandparents,
that's
and they're
good.
coming for you.
So you had two parents, but instead of the trauma of a rough childhood, they gave you the trauma of training and discipline.
Exactly. That's exactly right. No matter what, you have trauma, right? Like the
Yeah.
worst thing that ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah, you'll find it no matter what it is.
Yes, my trauma comes from my overly caring mother
Because you're Jewish.
because I'm Jewish.
And Jewish people and Italian people love their mothers too much.
They love their mothers. Yeah, you know what? I love my mom, but I fucking hate women. It's fucked up. It's like a fucked up contrast. You know what I mean?
hate women too, but
Why do you hate women?
I think they're throttling the supply of love and pleasure in the world for selfish reasons.
They're taking it up and you can't get any because they got it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And also, as a full-time career DJ, I am surrounded by the worst women. The worst women. Strippers. Actually, that's new for me. I DJ at a strip club in Houston. I've been in Houston for a year. And I started DJing there pretty recently after I got here. Before that, I had never DJed at a strip club. And, like, do you go out to nightclubs at all?
I try not
I know you
to.
go to the strip club.
I try. Nightclubs are. I don't shine in nightclubs. My big chin is useless there.
Well, go on with that. What do you mean you don't shine? What do you like? Paint me a picture of what happens when you walk into a nightclub.
When I walk into a nightclub, the guys are all like, "Oh, you're like weak as a woman, but not a woman, and you're not hot. You're basically something that a punching bag, like."
Wait, so you think the guys are looking at you like you're a trans dude?
No, like I'm a nerd.
You're a
and
nerd.
a weakling, and like.
That's
not
how you
physically.
feel when you walk into a nightclub.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the women are like.
And as you drink, does that feeling go away? The more you drink, the more that feeling goes away, right?
Oh, I don't. You're teaching me how to nightclub.
I mean, that's not advice. Don't take that as advice. That's bad advice. If you drink your feelings away, that's not good advice.
I mean, it's like a tool. It's like meditation.
Yeah, for sure.
Not good for you.
I think that meditating and drinking get you to the same place mentally. It's just way harder to meditate.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to drink. That's why so many people drink instead of meditate.
It's like that story that Joe Rogan tells. I learned to levitate on water. The fairy's a nickel.
Wait, I'm a huge Rogan guy, and I don't know that story.
He's like telling about psychedelics, and Buddha is sitting on whatever, and then a man comes up to him and he's like, through years of meditation, I've learned how to walk on water. And then Buddha says, well, the fairy's only a nickel.
I've not heard that. Is that from like a DMT trip or something like that? Like a psychedelic experience?
It's just like a Buddhist koan.
Oh, that's like a famous Buddhist thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm a big Rogan guy. I haven't heard that, bro. I might have fallen asleep on the airplane while he told that one.
I think he uses it when he talks about psychedelics to like nerdy people who are like, actually, I don't need psychedelics because I love science and it gives me orgasms. And he's like, yeah, you could do that, or you could come every day in your mind with acid and DMT and mushrooms.
Yeah. Are you a big psychedelics guy?
Yeah, I think that they're very helpful, especially if you live in a fucked up society, to remind you what the truth is.
Yeah, I've never done any drug other than weed. And I'm pretty new at smoking weed, honestly. It's maybe been like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
But like now that I've smoked weed, I get that. What you're saying, like I'm like, oh, for sure. Because sometimes you get high and you feel like you're seeing what's actually happening and not what like your mind is perceiving as happening. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I definitely feel like that there's a lot of truth behind that. I'm kind of a pussy. I'm scared to try anything else other than weed.
Yeah. I think that's fine. As long as you get fucked up, it doesn't matter what the drug is.
Yeah.
As long as it knocks you off balance and makes you think about things.
It gives you another perspective, right?
Yeah.
And that's big in comedy, right? That's what comedy is, right? Taking something that is one way and then giving your perspective on it, and usually it's a funny one.
Yeah. You can't just look at it the same way, or else you don't appreciate it. And you're just like, oh, I can not tie my shoe. I don't know. It's like you don't appreciate sanity if you don't have insanity.
If you don't have insanity, you don't appreciate sanity. Yeah. I definitely feel that. Even when like you're like, if I'm in a routine of like being healthy, working out, eating good, doing all the things that I know make me feel good, if I go too long of a stretch with it, like 2-3 weeks straight, no cheat day, no fucking up, I'm waking up every morning doing the sit-ups, eating fruits and veggies, fucking sucking dicks for protein, whatever it might be. When I go too long with it, it becomes so normal that you forget that it even really feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta fuck it up and bring it down just to get back up and be like, oh yeah, I remember why I do this, because it feels good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
Now that we got high, it's there's no telling what could come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, you live a life of a DJ and you feel pleasure more than the normal person.
I definitely think so. I mean, what we do, we live life in the atmosphere that people go to escape life. You know what I mean? Like the nightclub is for the 9-to-5er to let loose and forget about the bullshit in the cubicle and get drunk and see
but
titties.
If your life is all escape, then you don't have any of the healthy greens or the grains that keep people sane.
Yes, 100%.
But you find other ways to cope, because I don't think that's healthy either. The office environment, I think it's more closer to a hunter-gatherer's life in terms of endorphins that they experience, to live like a life of an artist than to live like a boring cubicle life. I think that's really unhealthy.
Yes, I fuck with that 100%. Now, how do you relate living the life of an artist more so to being a hunter-gatherer, you think?
Because they were discovering new rocks or like new hunting locations. They were feeling the thrill of a kill or conversing with friends that you've known your whole life. And I think that's closer in a society when you make a reference to things that are old, like a movie like I Love Lucy or something. And then you tap into the international consciousness of our history as a species. I think that's a super powerful drug. And I think that's close to the feeling that hunter-gatherers got, but better in some ways, worse in other ways.
Okay. I see you. And also like the creativity that comes from living that life and kind of having to maneuver constantly through obstacles and things. Do you think that relates at all either?
Yeah, like problem solving. Like, how do I get from A to B? And they're always coming up with new ways, and you have to be thinking on your toes. You can't just do whatever a boss tells you. You got to think for yourself.
Yeah, fuck having a boss. When's the last time you had a boss?
Probably January of 2019. I quit.
What were you doing?
Sushi restaurant maitre d' in Midtown Manhattan, 33rd
Sushi
Street.
restaurant maitre d'. You had to wear a suit?
Yeah.
Oh, how fucking shitty is that? I used to, when I was younger, when I was like in high school and shit, I would be like, I would fantasize about having to put on nice clothes to go to work. Like I remember I wanted to work at like a T-Mobile or something because they had to wear the button-ups. They had to dress nice.
That's like the lowest level of that.
I know, it's so funny. I used to like look up to that. I used to be like, I want to do that. I want to put nice clothes on and be somebody. And you know what I mean? Like that picture was painted, and then you become you get older and realize like, nah, you don't want to do that at all. You want to fucking go to work in your sweatpants and not have anybody tell you what to do and connect directly to the people through your art or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
What do you, if you're not an artist, how do you not have a boss? I guess you start your own business, right?
You sell your widgets online. You do freelance work. I guess then you still sort of have a boss.
I mean, you always kind of have a boss, right? Who, like, at a comedy club, is there somebody who could tell you what to do? Like, as a DJ in the nightclub, the manager can come up and be like, yo, you know, there's too many people in here that we don't want in here. Switch up the music. Play something different.
Yeah.
Play some country, whatever it might be. Is there anything like that in comedy?
Not the same way. I mean, you have managers that want clean stuff and managers who like woke stuff and PC stuff. But for the most part, if a manager is telling a comedian what to do, that's seen as inherently evil in comedy. So there's a strong incentive to not police the comedy. And I think a lot of managers go too far in never telling their acts what to do.
You think they go too far in never telling their acts what to do?
Yeah.
So you think that they should have some input? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you think? Because that kind of contradicts what you just said, right?
That comedians don't have bosses.
That it would infringe on the art form.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think that they should be telling people?
Like if someone says the N-word and they're white, like egregious mistakes.
Does that happen a lot?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like maybe a weakness in their act that they're not correcting, and that the manager sees. But it's like then that's like a fucking craftsmanship, and it's like, I'm the comedian, you're a manager. Why would you know more about comedy than I do?
Yeah.
But like comedians have management advice all the time. So
also being able to work within the frame of someone else's vision, I feel like made me a better DJ. Like when I was early starting off DJing in like nightclubs or like actually getting paid to DJ, I worked at a place where the dude only wanted top 40 music, top 40 pop music.
yeah.
And as a DJ, you're like, no, fuck that, man. I play whatever I want. I play the crowd. If I see that the crowd wants this, I'm going to play that because I'm a DJ. That's what we do. We're reading the crowd. We're trying to engage and connect with them and you know, do all that. So for you to tell me I can only play one genre of music, that's fucking up my art. But that guy paid all the money. That guy was paying the money. If I want to just DJ and not have to be a bartender as well, I need to work here because this is where the money's at. And I hated it at the time, but now looking back, I realized that having to do that sharpened my skills as a DJ, made me a better DJ because I'm outside of my comfort zone and what I know and what I want to do. I'm having to do something different. You know what I mean? I'm having to still be a good DJ, cool, express myself, be an artist, all that bullshit, while playing this type of music only, I think made me better.
Yeah. You only had like a limited amount of tools, and you had to figure out how to, you know, figure it out with that.
Exactly. So do you think that maybe that it could help if somebody had, you know what I mean, if there was a frame to work within, that if it was worth it too? Because if you're getting paid shit, do opening comedians get paid pretty shitty when you're new?
Yeah.
Right? So it would have to be worth it. It would have to be a place that pays more, right? Because that's what made it worth it for me.
But usually they just don't book you.
They just say, fuck you.
Yeah, they don't really give out advice. Sometimes they will, but only if they're another comedian. I feel like there's like a very established sort of tradition in comedy, and it's like an illusion and a dream, but also like a helpful one that makes the art form more authentic and honest.
What's the illusion?
that the art form is pure expression of an individual's perspective, and that it's not tainted by anyone else. That there's no manager telling you what to say. It's just an individual saying whatever he wants, which I think is a good illusion to have. But I think that learning how to play with only two tools also makes you better.
Yeah.
And then you can expand from there.
Yeah.
Like fundamentals.
And yeah, it sort of gives you an outline. You know what I mean? Because with too many options, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of times when there's
like
just
cereal.
100%. Where you going with cereal?
Like grocery stores, like the paralysis of choice.
Yeah. What are you picking between, you think? Like what's your
Fruit
you're
Loops,
like, I want
Apple Jacks.
That's your shit, huh?
Yeah.
Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks?
I haven't had it in forever. What
Why
else
not?
is there? I don't do cereal. I don't think it's healthy.
Are
like
you
nothing.
you're a health guy?
Yeah, I try to be.
What's healthy for you? What's a good healthy meal for you?
Like pork ribs or eggs or chicken thighs or chicken quarters.
And you're just eating meat. You're a keto guy.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right. I see you. Cereal? I kind of grew up on cereal. Did your mom cook, or did someone in your crib cook dinner every night and you like had dinners? I never had dinner ever. I grew up on cereal and like anything that I could make, microwavable shit. But cereal was big, bro. Fruity Pebbles for me, goat shit. Captain Crunch. I'm not a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, you get to drink the milk poppy after. It's good. Cinnamon milk. French Toast Crunch was my shit.
That sounds even better.
Fire. Super fire. Reese's Puffs came out, changed the game. Cereal was
chocolate.
If it was chocolate, I didn't really fuck with Cocoa Puffs. I like the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs commercials; those were fire. But if I'm going chocolate, it was not fruity. What was Cocoa Pebbles? Pebbles. I was a big Pebbles guy.
Okay, I just realized those were different things.
What do you mean?
They're all like cocoa balls to me.
Oh, it's small, dark, and chocolatey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what shape. I mean, they're really all the same ingredients for sure. They're just like cut different, they just fucking smash the pebbles or they fucking shoot the balls.
Have you looked up how they're made?
I've never seen how cereal's made.
I mean, it's probably on YouTube.
It's for sure on YouTube. And if we got high and just watched that, I feel like we could make a whole night out of it.
But what if they have like copyright and they're like, we don't want other people to copy Cocoa Puffs, so they don't have it?
Oh, like a secret formula kind of thing.
Yeah.
That
I mean, do you think every cereal is online or?
I personally feel when if someone says, can you find it on the internet? I personally feel like it's there. I think you can find anything on the internet.
But as an artist, you know that there's some blind spots in our society.
Yeah.
Unless you make a documentary about a specific subject, it might not get made. Like Mr. Hands. Like one guy made a Mr. Hands documentary, and apparently it's not very good.
Well, thank God that he did that. Because without him, I wouldn't know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Saw it?
I didn't see it because I can't get myself to watch that. I kind of get the gist. Yeah. I get the gist of it from just hearing the story.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't get myself to watch that. You've seen it or no?
No, I haven't.
Do you feel the same way?
I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's really bad for you to watch stuff like that too much.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not like a watch people get beheaded and all that kind of guy?
I mean, if it's a fresh one, like when the New Zealand Christchurch guy had a GoPro on.
You gotta see that, right?
I was like, yeah, I have to see that.
I mean, how about the fucking shooting that happened in Philadelphia a couple months ago, maybe like 6? You remember that?
The Tree of Life Jewish Synagogue?
No. The neighbor where the couple was on this side of the street. It was snowing out. The neighbor from across the street, they were yelling at him. And then this guy just comes back out with the gun and executes both of them. You didn't see this?
Mm-mm.
You had to have seen this.
For like 2 days. It was the craziest thing. It is the craziest, still the craziest
From across
thing.
the road, or did he cross over?
He
and pull
came
out a gun?
he came across, had a gun, shot the dude.
Why didn't they go inside if they saw he had a gun?
I don't know, but it was the wildest shit.
And how was it captured on Ring doorbell?
Yeah, it was like a Ring cam, a
Who's
little
his
home
or-
security. It was theirs, the people that got killed.
Oh,
It's
no.
bad, bro. It's bad. It's
So
all
the
bad.
police came. I
It's
wonder
all
what
bad.
Ring does if you're dead. They're like, well, it's their property. You can't have it. Or are they like,
Well, luckily the kids survived. Luckily
Oh,
the
there
kids
was a
survived.
kid?
So the child only had to witness his mom and dad get massacred. He didn't himself get killed. So luckily, I'm sure the Ring people were able to talk to him. They probably cut him a nice check for the video. And it's all good, It's happy ever after.
he's a kid. He can't even access the money till he's 18.
Well, that's probably for the best because I don't think you're making great decisions after you watch your parents get murdered for a couple years, Like maybe once you're 18, you got a handle on things, but
Yeah. Why was he there? Was he watching through the window or he was on the porch?
could get dicey. I'm not sure. He wasn't out there for the shooting, but when he heard the shots, you then see him come out and he finds his parents' dead bodies on the driveway.
With
So,
holes in them from
With
metal going through
with
it.
holes in them. It's not good. Lead holes actually, because bullets are lead.
So the guy shot. Well, why were they arguing?
It was like some neighbor shit. Like that's the craziest thing about the whole video is like it was some neighbor shit. It was like,
seemed
yo,
normal.
you shoveled snow onto my sidewalk. Keep that shit on your sidewalk,
Yeah.
player. You know what I mean? Like it was getting a little weird. And the lady was not, it kind of felt like a nerdy, like the shooter was like a nerdy, like probably abused as a child kind of kid. You know the type, like school shooter type, like glasses. He's got like wavy brown hair and a flannel buttoned all the way to the top kind of thing, And the people across the street were like the Bud Light drinking. I never really grew up past 23, but
Trailer
I'm
park-ish?
60 now. Yeah, a little trailer park ish. They had that vibe. Like they don't get it. There's some people that get it. Like they've, about meditation, right?
Yeah.
You understand. Sometimes you have to calm the mind and escape your own self. Some people, they don't get it. They just
Right.
live in that world. These were those type of people, I feel like.
Bud Light Americans.
Yeah. And you can see it in the video. The lady's yelling at him like she's the greatest thing ever.
Cash me outside.
Yes, exactly. And the dude comes back, shoots him, and then he like goes up. She's on the ground and he's above her, and he like straight execution style puts one in her head. And I
Damn.
believe that you can hear him say, "You should have kept your mouth shut," which I know that happened actually because the week that this video came out, the Tim Dillon episode of his podcast was about it, and that was his whole thing. He was talking about how the dude said you should have kept your mouth shut, and he's like, well, he's right. Like you should have, you know what I mean?
That murderer.
But that's what I do, bro. I fucking love comedy because that's it. It's like this tragic video that you watch.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. Like it blows your mind and you think the world's ending. But then you listen to something funny about it and you laugh about it. And it kind of eases it and brings it all back to perspective.
We're just very negative outcome adverse. So we see murder and we're like, this is a video about murder and I need to avoid it. Tragedy, death, fear. But then if Tim Dillon is like, look at this aspect of it.
Exactly.
And then you just take the murder out of it and you can just... Maybe the same thing could have been said if he was just like putting a sticker on her car. And you can just appreciate the line for the line instead of thinking about the context it's in.
Okay. You're taking that out. I've never thought about it that way. I like that.
It's hard to keep that in there and still enjoy it.
Also, do you feel like not murder, just death in general, really, as of right now, it feels so normal that it's no longer like shocking, like the Astro World thing.
Yeah.
On Friday night when I found out that excuse me, 8 people died. The first thing I heard was 8 people died from overdoses.
Yeah.
And really, when I heard it, it wasn't shocking at all. I was kind of just like,
But if they're dead by trampling, it's different.
well, that's the thing, is that the more details that come out, every hour that passes and more videos or more details about it come out, the worse it gets. Like, it went from like, it was overdoses, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Because
like,
you can
that
avoid doing
happens.
drugs.
Right.
But you can't avoid being in crowds ever.
Right. And then it went to the trampling thing, and you're like, Jesus, like, how did people get trampled? Like, what? How? I'm 30, almost 2 years old, and there's been a million concerts in my lifetime. I've never heard of anything like this. Maybe it has happened. I don't know, but I haven't heard.
You've been like with big crowds where they could do that, but it never happens.
Yeah, I've been in big crowds, and I've never seen it happen. But and it happens, and then you find out it's a trampling, and you're like, gee, that's crazy. But like, okay. And then the next detail that comes out is there's some guy shooting people with needles, and that's how the trampling even started, because this guy shot a security guard with a needle full of drugs or something, and people were freaking out, and that's how it happened. And then now there's more details. I don't even really know. The videos are coming out. You can see Travis Scott like seeing dead people being carried away, and he's not doing anything, so people are mad at him. It's like this whole thing. And the fucked up part is that all of those details are being filtered through the media that we get, so we don't even really get the real details.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But with the internet, it's probably more real than it ever has been.
Yeah, for sure. We are getting the videos, right? There's a lot. There's so many people there. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's recording. It's just going to be more and more angles, more info. Like, it's too much, man. I almost want to fucking forget about it.
I mean, I think it's like the kids are miserable, and this is their one chance to feel all the pleasure they've been missing out on for 2 years. And it's too much expectation and too much energy for one night. It's just not healthy. We need more pleasure and happiness in the world, and these kids aren't getting it, so they're making it on their own.
The word pleasure just really makes me think of an Asian massage spot. I don't know why. That's fucked up for me, honestly. That's my fucked up head.
Well,
but like
Asians
when someone says pleasure, that's what I think of.
So like, here's the instructions for pleasure. Do 1, 2, 3. So it's like they divorce pleasure from like the subconscious. It's just like a game. It's like, oh, this is what you have to do for it. But yeah, I mean, Asians know about pleasure. We had the Kama Sutra in India, which is technically Asia.
Okay, I see you claiming India. I see you. Okay. Trying to take the Kama Sutra. You think so? That's true. Asian roots, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably better at it than we were. I don't think Asians are known for their sex.
The Asian massage, like Asian massage parlor, it's not really sex though. You get jerked off. I gotta piss really bad. I'm gonna pee real quick.
Okay.
Hold on, my bad. I'm fucking dying, bro.
Are you gonna edit this?
Maybe.
Should I keep talking or check my phone?
Yeah, you can. Why not?
Okay. I think that we need to create communities consciously and sort of think about what kind of things we're making and how we're doing it. I think our current society is only geared towards preserving the wealth distribution as it is now, and not towards making sure everyone can contribute. And if we live in a world where everyone can contribute to the best of their abilities, we'll have more cool shit in our life. But we're not trying to make sure people build cool shit.
All right. What you got?
What
are you talking about?
What do you think about Bernie Sanders?
I'm not hugely political, but I have a tattoo on my arm that people mistake for Bernie Sanders quite often.
So you're more interested in like, is that Larry David?
It's Larry David.
Yeah.
But especially here in Houston, in the
Looks
game,
like Mitch McConnell. If he wasn't bald.
when I was on Kill Tony, people were saying I had a tattoo of Biden on my arm. So I've gotten Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden, and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first came to Houston, I was in the neighborhood, Montrose. Everyone was like, "Is that a Bernie Sanders tattoo?" They were so happy to see me. Like,
They want to be taken care of.
yeah, they want to be taken care of.
As
do I.
I don't think that being political is necessary or even healthy.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary or healthy at all, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time when I knew so little about politics, it was incredible. People would talk about it and I would be like, yeah, I have to go play Game Boy or something. I can't be a part of this conversation. But now it's like it's pretty mainstream. I feel like it's pretty. I want to say important, but I don't think it's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it feels important to know about, maybe.
I mean, I think it's important to make good art and then like be able to survive throughout the centuries and make immemorial art, and make things that are quality even throughout time and not just in the time you're in. But some people's art is changing the time that they're in, and I think that could be very important and cool to do, like Martin Luther King Jr. But I think that it helps you be successful if you like think about the overall picture, but it could be also a distraction because you can't really change it. But I like thinking about it. I think it's fun for me because I think I would think about it eventually anyways.
Yeah. You kind of wonder what those people are doing, right?
Yeah.
You kind of think about like Joe Biden and you wonder what does a day being Joe Biden entail? What is that like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the man can't put a sentence together properly. Like you think he wakes up? You think he feeds his dogs first? I feel like he's the kind of guy that has two like shepherds.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I think
he thinks he's killing it. He's like, man, look how good I'm doing. I can't believe I'm the president. I'm so awesome.
Or do you think? Have you ever seen Prison Break?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Who's the dude that they have in the house in Montana that's like a prisoner? Like he's supposed to be dead, so they have him locked up. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't get that far.
Oh man, yeah, it's definitely out of the first season. But like, this dude's like he's being controlled by everyone else. Like he is the president, he's the face of the operation, but everyone else is controlling him, and he hates it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Joe Biden feels when he wakes up. He feels a little controlled. Like I think he wants to express himself more.
Yeah.
And he wants to express his creativity. I feel like Joe Biden is a creatively imprisoned elderly man. You know what I mean? Like if Joe Biden were to do his art, what do you think it would be?
Be like George Bush's art, like very simplistic, very realistic. I mean, he's a politician. All he knows how to do is like glad hand and like say things that he thinks sounds good.
Yeah. What's glad hand?
Like grab someone's hand and be glad.
Oh, okay. Glad hand. Is that a term? Did you make that up or is that an
don't think
existing
so.
term? That's an existing term. I like that. I'm going to have to use that at some point. I don't know how we got here, but I'm fucking excited about it. I don't know how we just got to the conversation we're at, but it's incredible. I have a question though. I want to get back to a question. So like in the DJ world, you're an opener before you're a headliner. Same thing with comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you burn a headliner as an opener?
Yes.
And how do you do that?
You do so good that the crowd is like, oh my God, this guy's going to be on for longer than the other guy, and I've already figured this out. This is going to suck. I'm bored already. There's never going to be a bigger laugh than I've already had. I'm sad now.
So as an opener, it's your job to not get the crowd too hype.
Not always.
It's different situations.
I mean, depends on how nice you are.
As the opener,
Yeah.
the nicer you are, you would be doing what?
You would be doing your set with the headliner in mind.
And keeping the crowd like at a medium, not
Yeah.
making them laugh too much. You're just kind of warming them up,
Yeah.
massaging the laughs into them,
Yeah.
but you're not finger banging them with the laughs yet.
No, you're just playing on that with the outside.
Yeah. So does that play into how far you can get in the industry? Like if you're opening for somebody who's a big name in comedy that you want to be on their good side and like you want to be a peer of one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You keep them in mind. Is that how it works?
Well, if you can do better than them as an opener, you probably don't really, they're probably not that powerful if they're not doing that well. They're probably not that funny. So, I mean, do you really want to curtail your act and limit your growth for this guy that probably isn't going to be around when you make it?
Okay, so if that's the case, then you're like, fuck this guy. I'm shitting on this guy. I'm going in. I'm doing my thing. I don't care about him.
Yeah.
Because he's not really somebody, is what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I mean, it's like this idea of a show that you should always close strong and that like the last person should be the funniest. It's like that's not always the case. Audiences like whoever they like for whatever reason. That might be subjective. And it's like they could like someone in the middle and that could make their whole night better because they saw that guy. And it's all about them having a good time. So if they have a good time, it doesn't really matter how the headliner did. I don't think the headliner always has to be the best. I think it's whatever happens.
okay. I see the vision. So it's not all one night really. You're not working, because like in a nightclub, I feel like you're working to keep a crowd from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. usually is the normal slot. It's like a 4-hour slot.
Nice.
So you want to keep a crowd. You want the opener to like do well and have fun, but not overdo it, because if it's midnight and everyone in there right now has already heard all the big songs, they've experienced everything they could get from current music and whatnot, they might start thinking about going somewhere else. And you want to keep them for the next 2 hours. So you don't want to burn the headliner by playing the hit songs and all that. You know what I mean? As the opener, you want to do well, hold the crowd, but you don't want to leave nothing for the
Burn
next
them
guy
out.
to play. Yeah.
Well, with comedy shows, you're only doing 90 minutes, and they're going to probably stick around because they paid. So there's no incentive to maintain their stamina. You already got them for however much time, so hopefully they'll enjoy their stay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's like the main difference. Also, yeah, because they bought a ticket too. Most of those people.
Yeah.
Nightclubs kind of like you pop in. If it's popping, you stay. If not, there's usually a couple other options.
Right.
So yeah, it's a different game. Okay. Is there a lot of like initiation type things you feel like in the comedy world?
Yeah, I mean, just naturally, just the process of getting good at something and the process of interacting with people while you're doing that in front of them, it's going to have a lot of, humiliation and pain on the way there. But I don't think it's a structure. I think it's more natural and organic, which I like about comedy.
Yeah. And like, do you think that the older guys kind of do things to newer comics to sort of knock their ego down? You know what I mean? Because they need that, as like as a younger person coming into a game, I feel like you think you're really good because you may be really skilled. Like as a DJ in your bedroom, you were really good. You know what I mean? Like you can scratch and you can transition, and you can do all these crazy cool things, but doing it live in front of a crowd and dealing with managers and like everything that goes into the game outside of just the skill itself, you don't even know that exists yet. So you come in thinking like, I'm the fucking man. And then the older guys who know what's really up are like, yo, you're not the man. Relax. You got to get roasted a little bit, kind of like initiated into the lifestyle almost, I want to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. They're going to look down on you because you don't have the experience.
Yeah. And even if they like you or know that like have faith in you, that still needs to happen. That's like a part of the game. Like I feel like a lot of people are mad at that, because they can't handle it. Mm-hmm. Some people who can't really handle it and they'll be like, oh, that guy was mean to me. You know what I mean? And it's like, was he mean to you, or like was he just trying to teach you something and you mistook it for him being mean because you're a pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like some people can't handle bringing their dream to the harsh realities of life, and they didn't really want it in the first place.
Yeah, you gotta really fucking want it, right?
Yeah, and most people don't. Most people are afraid, and they're just doing it for survival.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too do so much other shit to like prepare for doing the thing just to make it look like they want to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because doing the actual thing is the risk, and that's what's going to get judged. Like, you know what I mean? Like if, for a comedian, let's say as an example, doing it is actually going on stage and doing it, whatever the fuck it is, speaking in front of somebody. And then there's people that are like, yeah, I'm doing comedy. I'm going to go buy a book. I'm going to write in the book. I'm going to do all the things like, oh, I got to do this before I could do that. And they're like doing everything except for it. I feel like there's a lot of people like that too.
Yeah. They want to do the busy work because like most of school is busy work.
Yeah.
They want to please the teacher.
Were you good at school? You're probably good at school, right?
I mean, I got a 3.76 GPA in high school.
Do you have a college degree?
Yeah. I got like a 2.7 GPA.
Nice. Where'd you go to college?
Mechanical engineering. Georgia Tech.
Okay. Tight.
Yeah. I did all right in school, but I never respected it.
Why didn't you respect it?
Because I didn't feel like the purpose was for learning. I felt like
you knew they just wanted your money.
I think they wanted to waste my time.
Yeah.
And imbue compliance.
They definitely want you to be compliant. The word compliance, I feel like we're heading towards the Alex Jones-esque, they want your compliance. They're going to fucking sprinkle gay frogs on us. It's getting crazy. Yeah, I was never a big school guy. I felt like in school, I learned early that if you just pretended to be stupid, or maybe I'm actually stupid, I just tell myself I was pretending. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I don't understand. If you tell the teacher I don't understand, that's like the ultimate like they have to now help you, and they don't really want to help you, so they're just kind of like, well, here, just like go to this class and you're fine. Like, you get into the dumber classes and it's easier to pass if you just tell them you don't understand.
Yeah.
I feel like I figured that out early.
It was just a system.
Yeah, not a big school guy.
And daycare.
It's well, it does teach you like social skills. And you're trying to get laid in school, right?
That's important. But a lot of it is sitting still and not talking to other kids.
Yeah.
I think it's inherently evil. Our current school system, I think it's like designed to be drag. And I think that's a terrible thing, that we use all our power and might to bore kids.
Yeah. Now they got to have their masks on, too.
Yeah.
They're bored with masks on.
Well, at least they're not getting COVID.
At least they're not getting COVID. It's true.
But kids are pretty good with COVID.
Yeah, that's what they say, huh? You ready to have kids? I mean, I'm 30, about to be 32 in a month.
Emotionally,
in a couple days.
I think I am, but financially, I'm not. I don't want to have a kid. I think that financially, I'd want to be in a position where I could handle a child, and I don't think I'm there yet. But I don't think that this society deserves children or puts me in a position where I can have them.
Yeah. Do you also kind of feel like you're like, if I had a kid right now, like things are kind of wild right now. Do I want to have a kid right now? Like I kind of got to see where we're heading, where we end up in like a year or so.
you could have like in what is that? And not No Country for Old Men, but the one with Daniel Day-Lewis. He's an oil guy. There Will Be Blood.
Okay, yeah.
He has a kid when he's discovering oil, and he like takes the kid around with him, and he like shows him how he's becoming successful.
Yeah.
Like you could have like a kid that you bring with you everywhere.
Like a shadow child.
Yeah. Like a Padawan that you can train and raise in the way that you wish you were.
Yeah, I feel that, but you got to have a lot of money to do that, I think.
Daniel Day-Lewis did it. And it's hard because you're in nightclubs, I'm in comedy clubs where children aren't allowed.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit.
What about I feel like maybe if I made a nightclub daycare, like a universal company that like understood nightlife and could do a little pop-up daycare in the parking lot of your facility, I feel like that's Shark Tankable, I feel like maybe.
Well, what if there's a drunk driver that comes out of the nightclub and plows into your inflatable child care center?
Then we'll call it Astro World. That's fucked up. Yeah, I mean, that could be bad. Drunk drivers, really, though, that could be said about any establishment, I think. You know, a daycare, even a daycare on a regular
Maybe inside
street.
the building.
Inside the building could be good. Or what if we did walls that were the same as the building? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a pop up. It's like one of those cribs, like Elon Musk's crib. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of like that collapsible. I mean, you got to know about this, right?
I don't know about it.
No. I feel like for a guy that lives in his van, you would know about all the other sort of like portable home options, right?
I mean, I just sort of built it and then started thinking about other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's like homes that are like, there's these tiny homes and they're kind of collapsible almost. And then you can put that collapsed thing on like a trailer and just drive it around. You can like pull up to Nebraska, pop up for a couple weeks at a time, maybe knock it down, go pull up to Las Vegas, shoot some guns.
Yeah.
You know?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, like a nightclub daycare, because there's definitely a lot of bartenders and busboys that have nights. You know, there's late nights, there's a little alcohol involved. Alcohol, excess leads to condoms not being able to be found. You know what I'm saying?
So they have more kids than the average?
There's a lot of nightclub babies.
Yeah.
A lot of nightclub babies.
So now they can go. I mean, I think daycare or childcare should be, helped by the government or like, you know, in general cared for by society.
Yes, there. Now we're talking. See, we could get a government sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
only are the nightclubs giving us money so that we could care for the bartenders' babies, also have government funding us as well. I
Yeah.
like this. We may even be able to do like the nonprofit LLC kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're on to something for sure. 100%. What are you watching right now? You said you watch shows in the van?
Yeah, I started Sopranos. I'm on season 1.
I need to start that.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
good.
seen it.
It's like the dynamics and politics of modern life. And it's like, how do we talk to each other? What do we really mean? And what does the threat of violence look like in a modern world?
And do you feel like that still adds up? Because Sopranos is from what, like 2000
Yeah.
something?
Unfortunately, we haven't really progressed as a culture.
Still seems pretty relevant.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now I want to watch it even more. Did you watch You?
Mm-mm.
You don't watch that?
No.
Probably because you don't have a girlfriend. That's something you watch when you have a girlfriend.
Is it about romance?
It's a little bit about romance. Yeah, it's about romance. About a guy who stalks women romantically and then kills them romantically. So it's definitely one of those girlfriend things. I started it when I had a girlfriend, season 1 and 2, back like right before the pandemic, and then the 3rd season just came out right now, and I no longer have a girlfriend, so I had to watch it alone.
Just yourself.
Just myself. But I was thinking about her though.
Yeah.
I was thinking about her. I miss her a little bit.
Yeah. You grow closer. But I think that that makes sense to women. They're like, oh, men want to kill me? Obviously. They would.
Yeah, and they like that. Because like if this guy's killing them
He's
out of
risking
love. No,
prison time.
Yeah, and he's killing them out of love. Women are like, I want someone who loves me so much that they would
They don't
kill
even
me.
care about life. They want someone that cares about them so much. They will kill themselves to find it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're injecting Colombian cosmetic gels into their asses with no regard to what it's going to do to their bodies. They don't care. They just know that men love big asses, so they want to put things in their butt to make it bigger. And who knows what's going to happen in the future? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the lip injections?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen this, like
Yeah.
the phenomena that now every woman. Well, you're not in nightlife, really, because comedy's not nightlife.
No, it's
Like-
nerdier.
It's nerdier. Yeah. See, I like that. I need to spend more time in comedy. There's probably not a lot of lip injections in comedy.
They get made fun of. They want to show up.
I like that. So what? I need to just start making fun of these girls, and they will stop injecting their lips, or what?
I mean, maybe you'll discourage people from getting them, but if they already got them, it's a little too late.
It's a little too late. Yeah, I mean, what even happens? Because you have to get them refilled at a certain point. It's like, oh, I got to go back to get another injection. You're putting something in your face. You're putting a needle in your face and injecting a substance into your face that's going to then just it dissolves into your face. Like, what is, I don't even get it. It's crazy.
That's the level they're willing to go to.
Yeah, respect, right?
Yeah, I mean, what do? We do things in other directions to our lives
Yeah.
that are equally crazy. And we're both like just trying to get each other to like each other. And instead of talking to each other, we just do crazier things to get each other's attention.
Yeah, I mean we're animals. I mean that's like something that animals in the wild would do. Like a peacock is like being a peacock, so the other peacocks can see. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're doing. We're fucking animals.
Yeah.
It's a wild place. What if it's just one big zoo?
The world?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. I feel like maybe we should. Let me see what I wrote down here. The rules of being an opener. We talked about initiation. We talked about what's the obviously Kill Tony has been like the biggest step in your career recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most recently.
Yeah.
What do you think was like that same thing, that same like breaking point before Kill Tony? You know, that last feeling where you were like, holy shit, I can't believe I made it to this point. You know what I mean? Like maybe it was your first gig or whatever.
It was probably winning or being a finalist in the Seattle International Comedy Competition.
When was that?
2017.
Okay.
18, 16, 15.
And how big of a competition was that?
It was the biggest or a pretty big thing in Seattle. It was just sold out shows all over Washington State, in Western Washington State. And there was a lot of people, and it was all over social media. Yeah, I mean, it was like prestigious. It's a sort of amateur comedians, and I got to the finals, which was nice because I got to do all the shows. If you're eliminated, you don't get to do all the shows, so it was a good thing, and people respected me more for it.
What's the format of a competition like that?
So there's 16 people doing 5 minutes for 4 shows. Then there's 8 people doing, or 16, or yeah, 8 people doing 10 minutes.
You can't mess up the math.
Well, there's 2 heat. There's 2 heats. There's 16 people in 1 week, and then 16 people in the second week, and then there's 8 people in the second week, and 8 people in the third week, and 8 people in the fourth week. Then you have 8 people, or something, or 4 people.
Hold on. Well, I think we got too high.
So you do, in the first week, you do 16, and then you do, the second heat is 8, and then the third heat is 4.
It
or
just
5.
goes down.
Yeah.
It gets cut in half.
Yeah.
Something like that. How long of stand-up are you doing? 5 minutes?
The first week is 5, the second week is 10, the third week is 10, 20.
Oh, so the numbers of people go down, the number of time goes up, and then obviously every round has to be new material, right?
No.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah.
How is it being judged? Are there judges, or is it?
Yeah.
And then every round is different judges, which is why you could do the same material?
I think it's a different judge every show.
Okay. Is that and it's just you doing stand-up, right? It's not like a roast thing?
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds tight. And they what place did you take?
5th.
Out of how many people?
32.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it was like third year in comedy, so it was faster than some people do it. But yeah, that was my biggest thing. And then I moved to New York, and New York, no one gave a fuck. And then I came to Austin, and then I got on Kill Tony and opened for Rogan. So that's the biggest thing so far.
How nervous were you opening for Rogan? Oh, I guess, yeah. Yeah, okay, go ahead, sorry.
So, I was pretty nervous. I wanted to do good, and it was like really crazy. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing comedy, so I was like, I know how to do comedy, so I'll just try to do that. Hopefully I can do that. As long as I can do that, it should be good. Even if it sucks, at least I'm doing hacky jokes on stage. At least they know it's supposed to be comedy.
That's how you felt before you went on?
Yeah. Like, I'm going to figure out a way to make it passable, at least.
And how did it go when you actually did it? It went better than you thought? It wasn't just passable, right? You did a good job?
Yeah, I think I had a couple moments where I did good, and then I couldn't string it together as well. And then I started to try to learn how to increase the flow, or like keep the rhythm going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's fucking sick, bro. That's fucking sick. And what venue was that at?
the Vulcan.
Was that Vulcan?
Yeah.
So it's a room that you know.
Yeah.
I got to imagine that makes it a little bit easier, right? Like if I think about DJing, if I'm nervous about something, but it's in a room that I know, I kind of have that. I'm like, well, I know the room.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
Right? That's tight.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll be there on Tuesday. Like I said, I'm going down to Austin. We got some tickets to the Rogan show.
Nice.
That'd be sick to fucking see you open. That'd be tight.
I'd love to.
Yeah. You excited? You got your minute. When do you normally come up with your new minute? You think? Are you like a last minute guy? Do you wait till like Sunday night and you're like, all right, I gotta bang it out?
I usually do open mics throughout the week, and then whatever joke I'm working on, plus whatever stuff that is in the catalog that I can bring out on that day, I try to trot it out.
And do you like when it comes to material, you feel like you're kind of maybe you're doing something throughout the day and like an idea hits you through the whatever realization of like what you're doing or something random? Do you like write that down in your phone or
Yeah.
Is that how? And then you kind of look back at it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I try it at an open mic, and then I try it at a show.
And how do you know if maybe you got something, like you say it and it doesn't go over really well? They're not like, oh, this is great, but like you're like, oh, this could work. Okay, like I got a little something here.
Yeah. Basically, if like what I'm saying is something that I want to say, and if the audience looks like they're uncomfortable because they want to laugh but won't, then I'm like, oh, I can work it around and find out how they can be comfortable listening to this.
So you see that uncomfort.
Yeah. If it's just straight up, it sucks, then there's nothing there. But if they're just like, they're almost there, but they haven't been pushed over the edge yet.
Okay.
Then I know I want to find a way to make it an undeniable joke, so they have to, at the very least, watch other people laugh at it because they understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Do you think there's some jokes that like are gonna like it's more of a risky thing or more of like an obscure thing maybe, where that if you can get 50% of the people in there to laugh, you're gonna win over the rest of the room, just because like, okay, most of the people in here are laughing, everyone kind of thinks like I should be laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, if you can get a critical mass. As long as you're able to trick yourself that you're doing good,
Yeah.
and other people are laughing at you.
This
go with
camera's
you.
fucked up. I might just switch it to this one so it stops going fucking crazy. My bad.
Is it recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
It was just jumping around.
Yeah. So that's on the recording like that. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's it's a DJ's podcast setup.
Well, at least you caught it right away.
Yeah, no, it gets a little choppy. It's kind of a thing. It's this fucking GoPro. I just got to get a different camera, but I'm getting the new studio, so I'm going to wait for that. But
Nice.
yeah, we're out here. It's all good. The audio's good. It's just the camera gets a little weird.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
cool GoPro.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, I love the process of it. And do you like make your own music?
I don't. So I started like in music, essentially making my own music. My brother was a rapper and I wanted to like make the beats for him, so I started making beats, like hip hop stuff, and that's kind of what led me to DJing. But I don't anymore. There was a point where like you kind of say to yourself as a nightclub DJ, at least you're like, okay, I'm DJing, but how do I get to the next level? Because you're kind of always striving to get to the next level, I feel like, in a creative space. Because if you don't, then you're just stagnant, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of think like, what can get me to the next level? And usually most DJs, that's what they go with is production. Like, I'm going to produce,
Like
blow up.
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. Yeah. Did you see him play Bob Marley's guitar, by the way?
No.
It's fucking amazing. You should watch it.
He's a good musician.
No, it's not even music. He's just like, he's emulating what he's seen in videos. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's incredible. But yeah, what was I talking about?
Making music.
Yeah, making music. So there's a point where you're like, okay, I want to do something to try and elevate my career. Most DJs say I'm going to make music. Me and my boy Dolo, who I usually do this podcast with, we were kind of like, let's do video shit. Like, let's do funny shit. Like, let's do different shit. And that's kind of what led me to this.
Nice.
So I sort of chose this over the production route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's you got to stay relevant. Like, it's all about staying relevant in the game. Who wants to book a DJ that doesn't have anything? You know what I mean? Who wants to just book a DJ who's not bringing anything more than just DJing to the table, which is a shitty thing to even hear myself say, honestly.
Right.
Because DJing is it. Like, DJing is the art form. But in the nightclub world, you have to have more than that.
Yeah, you have to bring in money and bring in
Yes.
an audience that buys alcohol.
Yeah. You want them to buy. I mean, there's guys that spend $50,000 on alcohol. Could you even imagine? Like, who does? Yeah, like, what kind of?
A year?
No, in a night. In a night, bro. Like,
Yeah.
there's people that come out and just spend crazy amounts of money at the club because they want to fuck bitches.
That's what money's for.
That's what money's for. That's what they print it for.
It's a trinket.
Yes, that's exactly what it's for. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's all for each other.
I mean, it's, they want it and some people got it. So why not just make it an even exchange? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I wish that women didn't have to have sex for lifestyle or, career reasons. But I think that if they're in a situation like that and you should. But if you can't, you should find another way to make money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody should be forced into anything, but I think that there's a lot of girls that that route is just so easy that it's like, why wouldn't I do that? Because I kind of feel that way myself, honestly. If I had a pussy and people wanted to see it, I'd be like, well, listen, you got to buy a ticket to the show,
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, that's not all they have to offer. But, I mean, so far, we're not really trying to make a crazy invention that's going to change things too fast, or else the powers that be will get angry. So we can just show each other our pussies until we're allowed to invent shit.
Can we show each other our pussies?
Yeah.
After the show or right now?
Intellectually. Our intellectual pussies.
Intellectual pussies. Yes, dude. Yeah. It's wild out there. And girls, I talk a lot of shit. I hate their lip injections, but they got it hard, man. They open up that Instagram every day and they see the next girl trying to be what they want to be, and it's a vicious cycle out there.
Yeah, because they're prized for their physicality, and if there's someone with more physicality, then it's you're pretty much worthless in her universe. You better hope she doesn't come after your man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's girls out there that, they won't even tag their man on Instagram because they don't want other bitches looking at them.
That's smart.
Smart.
Keep them under wraps.
Yeah, they're evolved. They're evolving out here.
But you only need a girl to be so hot, and then everything else would just be extra work. You're like, I'll just stick with this one.
Yeah, that's kind of where this whole conversation even started. I think if you remember, we were talking about, the type of woman you want. You want them hot, but you don't want them too hot. Too hot is no good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I mean, I've had to date ugly women, and it's like you have to tell yourself something. But
You've had to date ugly women. I love that. It's amazing.
I mean, if the choice is between being lonely and lying to have a slightly better life.
You're lying every time.
Yeah.
Lying over loneliness.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it's a matter of survival. Like, I can't live just being miserable. I need to choose happiness for myself.
Always choose happiness. That's a Buddhist thing, right?
Maybe. I think they're like, what is happiness? Maybe not wanting to be happy is happiness.
That's deep. That's deep. Not wanting to be happy is happiness, which is the opposite of loneliness. I mean, that lonely feeling, that late night, like you're in bed and it's lonely, you're watching Seinfeld on Netflix and you're like, where's my bitch at? You know, like that.
Yeah.
It's I feel like it's ebbs and flows. Like it comes and goes, and sometimes it's way worse than other times.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of times you'll realize that, like, you know, you get that lonely feeling and you're like, damn, I gotta fill this void, and then you find a girl to do it, and then you bring her home and her hair is coming off of her head and on your bathroom floor, and she's leaving peeled off, you know, eyelash encasings on your table, and you're like, it was way better just with me and Seinfeld. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we want it, but when we get it, and it's like, this isn't what we wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, when you DJ, aren't you fucking the whole crowd?
Yes, you're literally fucking the entire crowd. There's no better feeling that I've had in my life than like an amazing night of DJing.
Yeah.
The controlling the energy of a room and like bringing people to where you want them to go. Like you have them with this song that's at this energy level, and the next song you have is going to bring them down, but then like back up, you know, and just taking them on that journey is fucking, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
I got to imagine it's the same doing stand-up.
Yeah. It's like the intellectual pleasures are so much more because you're untethered from your body, and you can up the you know, pleasure to like 1,000, million, billion, trillion. Like, there's no limit to it if you're just purely intellectual.
Yeah.
Although orgasms feel pretty good.
Orgasms are good. And they're so much easier to get, which is why I think we try and go for them all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that we should be having more of them, and we're not, so then we fetishize it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. And what's really... I'm going to push this over a little bit. There we go. And what's really worse than, like, you're chasing... Like, what's worse than busting a nut from jerking off than when you didn't really want it, you know? Like, there's those times when you're horny and you're like, all right, I got to jerk off just to get this out. And it's good. It's like, oh, I needed that. But then there's those times when you're just kind of bored, like the bored jerk off, you know? Does that happen to you or no?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and you just do it, and you're like, oh, man, I was just trying to feel something.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to, like, I wasn't really feeling much, so I thought this would do it. But, like, nah, that ain't it.
Maybe I'll try eating.
Yep. Then you try eating, yeah. Maybe a
Something,
fucking
maybe
Rice
putting on
Krispie
TV.
treat.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're starved of endorphins, then your brain is like fucked up, and it's like it doesn't know how to feel pleasure or like what it wants. If it's not a spiritually in line being that knows its place in the universe, then it's like you're fucked, and you're never gonna feel good fully because you're missing the.
So that's what I have to look forward to, as you're telling me.
No,
This is what you're
not.
telling me.
Hopefully you have like your shit figured out because you're a DJ and you're doing something creative actually and fulfilling.
Yeah, it is creative and fulfilling. It is. Which is most important, right?
Yeah.
That's
the
why
larger purpose.
Yeah, the larger purpose. Did you listen? Do you listen to a lot of Rogan podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to the Ari Shaffir one? The most recent, not most recent when he was on like with Norman and Gillis, but the most recent. Just he was talking about his, I think it was ayahuasca experience, and he was talking about the orbs. Do you remember this?
No. Oh yeah. Not really though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's that. Like when I heard that, you know, he said that. I'm gonna butcher it, but from the way that I can remember it, he said that he had this experience where he just wanted to release these orbs into the universe, and the orbs were things like his creations from his body being released into the universe, whether it's a stand-up set, a joke, or a podcast, or like whatever medium you're using to get the things from your head out, that is creating the orbs, like the best version of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I don't know what brought me there, but that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So if you could like bring cool orbs to people, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's all about the orbs. I'm trying to fucking release some orbs over here.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the orbs that come out of my dick.
Yeah, you don't want to put orbs all over a lady's chest.
Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I might want to put some orbs on someone's chest tonight.
That'd be awesome. They're very sensitive. Yeah, I mean, it's like, how much do I have to translate what I'm thinking, and how much gets lost in translation, and is that worth it to get an idea across? Or should I try to be authentic, even though people won't understand it? Some people will really understand it. Or should I go for a more broad approach?
And what do you usually go with, you think, when that comes up?
I go for, with comedy, whatever gets laughs. And then if it's just purely intellectual, then I just write about it.
Do you do a lot of writing?
Yeah, I try to write every day.
And you write with like actual writing, right? Like a
I
pen
do
and
it on a
paper?
computer.
Oh, so you're typing. Okay.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. I think it's good to get thoughts out and see what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And thinking about thinking.
Yeah. That's definitely a big thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely big. And sometimes you just kind of feel like it's almost not even you, right? Like it's just kind of happening. Do you get into a zone, you feel like, sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just like an idea pops up and it's at the right time for you to be able to write it, and then another idea pops up right when you're done with that thought. So it's just a continual process. But sometimes I don't know what to write about, and then it's like, oh, what am I writing about? And then there's nothing there except I got to go to the bathroom, I should do the dishes, I forgot about the mail, I need to charge my phone, and then like that's like not the best thing to write about. So it's like trying to get an idea to come, and just waiting for it while you're writing down whatever bullshit about your day, or like how women are wrong, or how the government is not efficient.
Women are, because women are always wrong, right? That's why you said that?
I think that they're wrong about me, and I only interact with them as me.
And how, like, when you were doing the makeout with girls on every episode of Kill Tony thing, that kind of raised your stock, right? Like you were getting more pussy from that, you think?
Yeah. I don't know. I think just being on Kill Tony did, but being seen as that thing probably helped in some ways. I mean, it helped me get more kisses.
Which kisses don't always lead to pussy.
Yeah, especially if you do it on a show.
Yeah. But then I kind of feel like when girls see other girls desiring you, they kind of they kind of desire you too. It's like that thing when if you have a wedding ring on, girls want you more, they say, you know? It's like if you're already desirable by someone else, they're like, well maybe I'll check it out too. What's going on over here, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like it just doesn't happen for me. I think most people aren't trying to fuck. I think a lot of people are too traumatized to fuck.
To really fuck. Like they're doing the act, but they're not really getting the most out of it, you think? Or you think they're just not?
They don't want intimacy.
Yeah.
They just want to be themselves.
I'll be honest. I don't think I really fucked. Like really, I don't want to say made love, because that, like, it happens with girls that I know I'm not in love with, you know, sometimes. So I don't want to say made love, but like, I don't think I ever really fucked until I started smoking weed. Getting high and having sex with a girl, I feel like the connection is crazy. Like, I feel like we're connecting on like an alien level, and our bodies are you know, being molded to each other, and our spirits are making out.
Yeah.
Do you feel that too, or is it just me smoking?
I think that I hope to get to that point.
You never felt that?
On weed, I mean, I felt we're like really connected during sex. I don't know if I was high. I feel like I'm always sort of high, so I was probably high.
Yeah. I know the feeling. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
But I don't have,
a lot
because I started smoking before I got getting laid, so I've never known not smoking and sex.
When did you discover smoking and masturbating, though?
As soon as I started smoking.
Like the day I fucking got high. Yeah, no. I think like, because this happened to me recently. I went back to Chicago and I hooked up with this girl that I had hooked up with before. But and it was more of like I hadn't had sex in a while, and you know that feeling that we get as men where it's just like, I just gotta get the poison out of my body. You know what I mean? Like, I just gotta get this. I'm distracted by this. I'm horny. It's messing with my head, the testosterone buildup, whatever it is. Like, you're like, I got to get this out. That's kind of what this was. But I connected with this girl through the sex so much more deeply than I had the last time I had sex with her. It was like, that's almost what I feel like I needed. I thought it was like, get the poison out, but it was like, no, you need to connect with somebody and just feel that feeling. And then, like, know that feeling exists and continue to look for love outside of the nightclub. You know that the nightclub's the worst place to look for love, right? Yeah. I don't have to tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good. I wish I could find out firsthand. But, I mean, I never go.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go after this, I can take you.
Nice.
Sunday Fun Day is pretty serious. Sunday Fun Day in Houston. Although, after the Astro World thing this weekend, the party hasn't been great. And I just came from the club before this, and it was not a normal Sunday for sure. It's a little
That's too bad.
The vibe is down. Everyone's on the fence. It's very like, I don't know kind of feeling out there.
Yeah, people are not trusting our society's mechanism for having a party.
That's very much better put than I just put it. Yeah, that was a very good way of saying that.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on out there.
It's wild. They don't trust. When you see something like that happen, that's what happens. You don't trust it anymore. You're like, oh, I'll stay in this weekend. You know they're going to be back next weekend. It's going to be like that shit never even happened. There's going to be something else in the news. But for this Sunday, they're going to take it easy. They're going to be cautious.
I think it's good to take a break, especially from that kind of lifestyle.
For sure. Yes.
But I think that it's more symbolic than anything. It's not like you're actually going to run into more danger this weekend than any other weekend, unless that guy with fentanyl is out. But the problem always existed. This was just a highlighting of the problem.
Yes.
It's like how during 9/11 all the airports shut down, and the economy shut down. It's just out of solidarity
Yeah.
for how crazy we could have kept going, but we were just like, no, this is too fucked up emotionally. I can't handle this for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely exactly what's going on right now. It's everything's on pause a little bit. I forgot what I was going to say. I have to pee again. I'm going to be honest. I got to fucking piss, bro. I got such a small bladder. We're over here drinking these hard kombuchas. Do you want another one, by the way?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. You want some more water?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get you water and I'm